Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at Atlas and the Cerebral team in some PvP, because this particular character is actually really good in PvP. The only problem is, Cerebrals are just kind of bad still. Like, I mean, now they've got options, and I really like that they've got options. However, they're just not near that top echelons of meta-based teams. Now, they can actually work really well in particular circumstances, and again, they have a lot of really good options that I couldn't even find a way to include in today's video. Stuff like Nami Karina, the new superclass Boa, Black Maria ulti. You could use like what's his name, Chopper, the Int Chopper. So you have just an array of characters now for cerebral-based teams that just make them really interesting. And I feel like with the extra VEGA-PUNK buffs that will be coming for Anniversary, the Cerebral team in PvP could start to see a rise. I really hope that they do give it a rise, rather than what they did with like the Beast Pirates, with the Driven team, and kind of like made it flop. But Atlas is a huge step in the right direction. Atlas is an insanely good character. And look, don't get me wrong, I'm not exactly the best Cerebral team builder, nor do I really know what Cerebral works insanely well against. But look, I've been trying a lot of things, and I have been getting a bit more of a feel for them. If you guys have any ideas on how to make the Cerebral team better, or what works a little bit nicer, let me know in the comment section below what you guys are running that makes Cerebrals just so damn powerful. But Atlas is an exceptional addition to the team. She is a very big damage dealer. However, you do need particular circumstances to make that damage as maximum as possible. So at level 10, she targets one enemy for 1.5 times her attack 5 times. So she just hits 5 times, bink. If you have 5 or more int characters on the team, though, she then targets 3 enemies for 3.5 times damage. And then if you have 5 or more cerebral characters on the team, she targets 1 enemy that ignores defense for 2 times her damage. So basically, if you have a team that has 5 cerebrals, 5 int characters, you're going to be getting 5 hits on top of another 3 hits, and then 1 big shot that goes through defensive effects. Now, this is a lot of damage output. Like, it's a lot of shots that can take down enemies very nicely. It puts a lot of damage output. The 1 shot that goes to defensive effects hits very hard. It hits for around 8,000 damage. However, even with all of this damage, I still find that Cerebrals struggle just a little bit to actually get kills. They have some really good damage output with Atlas. They've always had really good damage output with something like Robin and Koala. And then with Uta being able to do shots and Shanks doing shots as well, you can output a lot of damage very quickly. However, with this extra damage output, you do sacrifice defense. Now, as you guys saw, I was using the 6+ Rayleigh against the shooter team initially, and that worked exceptionally well because the shooter team does a lot of fixed damage. They don't have a lot of characters that go through defensive effects and all that fun stuff. However, when you're versing slashers or taking on some of these characters that do have the ability to go through defensive effects, you are going to need a little bit more damage output moving very quickly, rather than having just bulkier teams. And this is where that damage output can shine. However, RNG can still slap you in the face, can still send you to the realm. And if something like Roger Whitebeard goes first and kills your entire team, then you're really going to be stuck in a really bad position. But as you guys can see here, those 5 shots that Atlas is just outputting now work very nicely. And if there's only like 3 characters left, you're guaranteed to pretty much just get 3 kills. Or if the enemy has lower defense, you're guaranteed to just take out 3 characters. And that's where Nami Karina is really good, because Nami Karina is going to be a great character to just lower defense, also rewinding specials, which allows Atlas to just output a lot of damage. Now, with Atlas's passive, all these shots work exceptionally. So you really want to make sure that you have 5 cerebrals and 5 int characters on the team when you are utilizing her. And if you're running like a 6-man team, you can easily just use 2 fodder characters that are both int and cerebral, and that's going to satisfy the conditions for you. But 8-man teams to cerebrals are very doable with stuff like being an int cerebral character as well. Obviously, with Atlas being int cerebral, you've already covered 2 of your bases, and then you've got something like Uta, that's another int cerebral, and then you just have to fit in 2 more int teams. In characters, which you can easily do as just Ben options. You have Brogy Dory, who are amazing. You've got Cap Viper. You've got S-Hawk, which you can just throw on a team. You have Smoker, who's exceptional off the bench too. And that all works very nicely. But the reason you want to have these 5 int and 5 cerebral characters is because when Atlas attacks, she increases her CT speed up to 5 times by level 1. So she gives herself level 5 CT speed. If you partner this with Uta, who gives everyone level 5 CT speed, you can get Atlas's special coming back around very, very quickly with the level 10 CT buff. On top of that, she boosts int-type teammates, attack up level 5, and then gives cerebral characters level 6 HP and level 6 speed. So, as you can see, she's very built around damage rather than sort of bulkiness. And to get the most effectiveness out of her, you do want to be running int-based cerebral characters, which unfortunately aren't exactly all that. You do have some very good ones, as I mentioned, Uta, V2 Shanks is exceptional, which when going up against side characters, but unfortunately, like, Robin Koala is like a must-bring for 99% of teams, and because they are a dual unit, they don't have that int typing. Stuff like Super Tandem Shanks, unfortunately, isn't an int character. Lilith is, but Lilith is just bad in Rumble. I hope they, like I said, they try and gel all these VEGA-PUNK characters together. When we get like Shaka and VEGA-PUNK eventually as well. But the int cerebral meta, it's not exactly there yet. But like we've seen with slashes, you don't necessarily need to be running the int and the cerebral typing together. You kind of just want to build it out with an a cerebral team, and then if they are int, they just get those extra benefits as well. It's just a level 5 attack buff. She's going to always give it to herself. Oots is pretty much always going to find a way on a team, so you're getting that as well. But that level 5 CT buff that she gives, if you have the 5 cerebrals and the 5 int characters, is insanely valuable. Not only, like I said, for that damage output, but to get this level 5 CT speed up as well. And that makes her go off very, very quickly, so that way you can get her special popping once again to just output more damage. Now, ideally, you want a lot of speed to make this go actually very, very fast. Cerebrals do get a speed buff at the moment due to the rule set, so this particular showcase is done in a very, like, promising situation for Cerebrals. But as you guys have probably noticed, I've been taking on kind of the weaker variations of teams. Like, taking on S Shark isn't really realistic for the Cerebral team. Taking on the Slasher team with S Hawk, again, not realistic. Whilst we did beat the Kawamatsu fight, and whilst we're beating the Bullet fight here, taking on the harder variations of these particular fights, it's just not there yet. And I really hope, like I said, with the other VEGA-PUNKs that do come out, that we can see a resurgence in the int cerebral kind of meta and see what they can do in Rumble. However, like I said, they have options, and I really like that. Nami, Karina, Boa, they can take down Free Spirit teams if you want to sort of throw on Robin Koala with Boa. They can take down side teams very, very nicely with stuff like V2 Shanks, and I feel like that's probably the best situation you're going to see them in. When you see these Free Spirit side teams running around, you can just throw together something that looks like this with Robin Koala and V2 Shanks, and you can just absolutely blast your way through teams. You can even throw Nami Karina on the team over something like Uta. You don't really need to bring Uta. You could bring Konus as well. I know she's not a cerebral character, but like, you're then going to have so much psi nerfing that you're going to be in a really good spot. However, if you're versing Free Spirit, you probably want to bring Boa over something like Uta. So I decided to take on the psi challenge fight just to sort of showcase and talk about the best comp I think Atlas has. It's probably something like this, but again, you have to put yourself into a position where you're going up against these particular teams. And I'm going to save this team. I'm going to use it every single time I see a Psi build, a Psi Free Spirit team, something like that, because it absolutely decimates the Psi teams with the amount of damage output that Shanks can do, the special rollback that can provide, the damage output that Robin Koala has, and then Uta just like increasing CT. Atlas just going absolutely ballistic, and honestly, you don't even get to Atlas really to like take them down. But that's going to wrap up the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.